Last final home game of the year for the Comets, and very fitting that the last opponent we will see here this season is a throughway rival, the Syracuse Crunch. Live from the Adirondack Bank Center to get us ready for one more puck drop, Sports Director Spencer Davidson.
Yeah, good evening, Kristen. Hello, everyone. One last ride here at home this season for the Utica Comets in what has been a roller coaster campaign here in 2024-25. And joined now by Michael Lear, the Comets Vice President of Marketing and Content. He'll be on the call tonight. And Michael, it's been a very up and down season. I don't think that's a surprise to anybody. Long and winding road, I guess you'd call it. What's kind of your take if, we're standing here with one more game here at home, one more game overall coming up tomorrow. After this, just kind of summarize this season. What is your take on how this year went?
Yeah, I think it's an interesting year for the team. On the ice, very, very different than I think they expected. They start off 0-13 and then somehow become a 500 hockey club by the end of the season, which is really, really positive. I think the whole second half of the season moved in the right direction. We got to see some players that you may not have expected to really stand out in the second half, which was fun. From a fan perspective and a building perspective, having those digital dashboards come in and having Utica be, the thing that the whole world was looking at in the hockey sense as far as like an innovator in this space, and that was really fun. The fans have been amazing this year. I think the fact that the team isn't playing great early in the year and to still see people coming out to the Adirondack Bank Center, we just as an organization really appreciate that, and it means the world to the players on the ice too.
Yeah, and speaking of the players and the coaches, out there, you spend a lot of time around the team. Just kind of what's your take on just kind of the mindset of these guys as they're getting to wrap up the year, kind of what's going on, the mood inside the locker room?
Yeah, I haven't been around a team much that was out of the playoffs at this point in the year, so this one was really interesting because you're in the locker room every day and it feels just like any other time. They're still at that high level of professionalism. They're still grinding on the film, working on things as development, and Ryan Parent, the head coach, said to the team earlier this week, these two games are the biggest ones. These are the ones that leave a lasting impression, not only on coaches and your fellow teammates, but on the fans, on the organization. These two games is all people are going to see when it comes time to get things going again in October.
Yeah, and you got two here against the Crunch, obviously the biggest rivals as well. Just from what you've seen with these two teams going head-to-head all year, what are you expecting here tonight for the last home game?
Yeah, I think you get sick of people after about 8 months, and some people might know that from their office, but it's no different for these hockey players. They have played a whole bunch of hockey games against each other, and this one's going to be really fun. I think being sold out, having everybody in this building, I think season ticket holders will all be out tonight. It's going to elevate tonight's game on accident just because of how much energy is going to be in the building. So I would expect some fireworks tonight for sure, and probably tomorrow to cap things off.
Absolutely. Michael Lear, thank you so much for your time tonight and all season long. It's been a long and winding road. He'll be on the call tonight. Final home game of the season, then the Comets in Syracuse to wrap things up tomorrow night. I'll have more coming up at 6. Kristen, back to you.
All right, Spencer, live at the Odd one last time this season. A reminder that Monday...
This live look of downtown Cooperstown is brought to you by the Leatherstocking Credit Union.
Evening, it is hockey night in Utica, the final edition of the season, and a good Friday indeed. After 6.5 months, 70 games, 35 here at the Adirondack Bank Center so far. The Comets close out their home slate in this building this year the same way that they began 189 days ago, hosting throughway rival Syracuse Crunch. Now, the Comets are certainly hoping that they bookend this final game, concluding it better than they began, as the Crunch came in on October 11th and very quickly sucked the air out of this once raucous barn with a 5-0 shutout win in the season opener. That, of course, was the beginning of a long uphill climb, with the Comets dropping their first 13 games before going on to win a respectable 30 in their next 57. But the damage was done. The hole too deep to escape, and the Comets will miss the postseason for the second straight season. As we look at the standings coming into the night, since that opener, the Crunch have won just 6 more games than the Comets, but with 10 less losses and earning 4 more points from extra time defeats, Syracuse sits in 3rd place in the North Division, while Utica has remained in the basement all year long. Shows how simple that margin of error is, but the Comets do have a bit of a chance to play spoiler this weekend. While the Crunch are playoff bound, they could still finish anywhere from 3rd to 5th. Comets wins in these final 2 games could make it so that Syracuse loses home ice advantage in the first round. And it would also elevate Utica to an even 500 finish themselves, which would honestly be quite the accomplishment after that tough start. It's round 13 of 14 this season between these old friends. Since that season opening loss, the Comets have played pretty well against the Crunch, actually, winning 6 of the next 11 and dropping 1 in overtime, which was here at the Aud the last time out on April 9th. Utica comes in 6-5-1 against their bitter rivals this year, and with a win tonight would clinch the season series, which would be another positive takeaway for the season. The Comets have been dominant against the Crunch in this building over the past 5 years as well, going 21-9-3-1 against Syracuse here in the cozy confines of the Adirondack Bank Center, looking to continue that tonight. Interim head coach Ryan Parent said that these games may be the most important of the season, as finishing strong against a rival can have a lasting effect heading into next year and leave a fond impression of an otherwise difficult season moving into the summer. Now, Devils prospect Shane LaChance is in the lineup tonight, making his professional debut out of Boston University, so that'll be a really exciting sight to see for fans here in the building. Comets and Crunch drop the puck here at 7 o'clock before the two teams head down the thruway to Syracuse to wrap up the regular season. The line is near.
Celebrate a nation. Here's News Channel 2 Sports Director Spencer Davidson.
Good evening. The Utica Comets opened the regular season on October 11th against thruway rival Syracuse Crunch. After 189 days, 70 games, 35 so far at the Adirondack Bank Center, the Comets closed out the home portion of their roller coaster schedule tonight, fittingly against the Syracuse Crunch. It's hockey night in Utica, the final edition of the 2024-25 season. Comets giving out their team awards prior to puck drop tonight, including Brian Hallinan earning the Tom McVie Award as team MVP. He was not in the lineup tonight, though. Devils prospect Shane LaChance was making his pro debut out of Boston University. Comets outshot the Crunch 11-7 in the first, but still scoreless in the second. First minute, Ryan Schmelzer on goal. Ryan Fanti the save, but the captain follows it up and jams home the rebound. Utica strikes early in the middle frame and leads by 1. Syracuse responds with 2 straight just over a minute after tying it up. Crunch on the power play. Connor Sheary, who scored the equalizer, sends it backdoor to Dylan Duke for the tip-in, and just like that, it's 2-1 Syracuse. But the captain doesn't want to go out like that. Just over midway through, Schmelzer, off another feed from Cam Squires, fires an absolute missile. Put himself off balance on the shot, but who cares? It's in the net. Second of the game, 23rd of the year, knotted up at 2. It stayed that way into the third opening minute. Crunch back man up. Duke in his office scoops and stuffs the rebound. Crunch silence the crowd and retake the lead at 3-2. From there, Comets have their chances. Squires blocked by Gabriel Fortier on a wide open net a few seconds later to Pius Villain. Puts it just outside the cage. One more try as time expires. And then a bit of a gathering after the buzzer, making some dinner plans. Tough battle, but in the end, Syracuse hangs on. Crunch hand the Comets a 3-2 loss in the home finale.
Overall, we liked it. We weren't happy with giving up 2 of the pretty similar goals against in the PK. Liked our push back in the second period to keep in the game and make it interesting. And we're like just in the third, I thought it was they locked it down, and we had a tough time getting pucks through to the net.
5-on-5, I think we pretty much carried the play. Obviously lost the special teams battle, and that proved to be the difference. But overall, it was good group, good effort from the group. Liked where our game was at, and close game either way. Had some more chances to maybe tie it up, but just came short. Crowd was awesome tonight. It was really fun playing in front of them, and we appreciate all their support.
So there it is, the home portion of the schedule now complete. The Comets finished with a winning record at the Aud this year, but will have a losing record overall. Just 1 game remaining, the finale, a rematch against the Crunch in Syracuse tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Well, it's the end of an era.